Well, this venue will host Super Bowl 55 in a couple years' time, but for now, we've got non-playoff football here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. To kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Ready? Blue ready. Check, 59. If you gonna get this, boy, you think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
Winston now to throw on first down. And Braith, the tight end's got it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Now, this series between the 49ers and the Bucs began back in 1977 in Tampa Bay's second year in the NFL. It's been a series that the 49ers have dominated, 17-7 overall, although Tampa has won the last 2 meetings. To throw again on second down, Winston, and Braith has it over the middle. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Jameis to throw it. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. D. Ford. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year. But that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
Ready? Blue ready. You think it's the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Third and long for Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Bucs passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Winston in the offense with a first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Winston now from the 50. He's going to rifle one deep left into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10.
11. Check three.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Certainly not the cleanest of starts to this football game. Back-to-back plays yield turnovers in this first quarter.
So there's not much flow right now. A very choppy game. And I know this. It's a copycat league. We say it all the time about the NFL, but I'm not quite sure this is what they had in mind about something they wanted to emulate.
No, you don't want to emulate a turnover. Following the interception, Winston looking downfield for Godwin. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The Pro Bowl corner, Jason Barrett, on the tackle.
Peyton Barber, a surprise workhorse for the Buccaneers in 2018. I don't think they expected him to have 234 carries, but he certainly felt like he could carry the load and just carried it there for a nice gain.
Here we go, G. It's just me and you. Let's go.
On third down, here comes Barber. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on third and medium. Proved to be the right call. First and 10.
First and 10 at the 31.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. Working out of the gun. Winston. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it first and 10. A first carry for the former Falcon, Tevin Coleman. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. On second and 1, Garoppolo gets this one to Juszczyk. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Garoppolo finding his tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, 48 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ready.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw, Winston. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Winston. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Howard. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out comes the Bucs free agent signee Bradley Pinion to punt, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
21.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage.
Here we go.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Garoppolo. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started, and still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Eric Armstead. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. To try again after the sack. Winston, and that is incomplete.
Intended for Peyton Barber. Incomplete. It's now 3rd down and 1.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Under pressure, and down he goes. Eric Armstead picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
A big loss on the play. Brings up 4th down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Buccaneers, nothing.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10.
At their own 38-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not at that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Carl Nassib there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last
13,
run.
13. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hey, watch that.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
54. Mike 54. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, hey, gun. Right there. 54. Hey, Mike 7. Game situation.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 14.
A gain of 15.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Levante David, the Bucs leading tackler, 6 of the last 7 years in there to make the stop.
At the 12-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Garoppolo. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this 1st half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Winston. Big loss here as he's taken down. D. Ford able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, they do snap it to Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's go. Come on, fellas. Here we go. Here we go. Out.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Coleman, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, it looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back.
Here we go.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down.
Wait. 45. Mike, 45. Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Garoppolo, 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Matt Breida, 31 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Now Gold for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Winston now. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans, 76 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed. They've done nothing the entire half, but
and out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Here we go, here we go. 180! Check Mike 45. Check 11. Pick it up. 45.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Their own 23-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. The Bucs on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Winston. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regulars. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They will run again with Coleman. He finds an opening past the 40. A big play there for the Niners. Give him 42 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Garoppolo. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
On the ground, it's Barber to start the drive. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. A loss of 2 there, second down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Winston. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A first down throw for Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Coleman. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman, 50 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gold with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Get ready, get ready. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A second down throw for Winston. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. D. Ford giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Now Winston. Looking downfield for Godwin. And my goodness, another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Let's get it. Here we go.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
2, 1, Omaha. Hey, wahoo!
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback.
Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen, down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama.